at this fine sister, like, give it to them, give it to them. Hi guys, how you all doing? Happy New Year! Happy New Year, guys! This is 2021. Well, I'm recording today, the 31st of December 2020, but by the time you see this video, it's going to be tomorrow, January 1st 2021. So let me be the first to say Happy New Year to you guys. Like, oh my god, 2020, I'm glad you're over. Like, let's just keep moving forward. It's like, let's just keep going forward. Let's just go. Let's just leave 2020 where 2020 is. Let's just let it be. So today's video, as you can see by the title, is a review of the year 2020. But before I start, like, you guys should just take your time to pause this video and just give me a like for this luscious. Like, don't I look like a baby girl aside from the teary eye? But don't I look like a baby girl? Like, dang. Like, let's start this video in proper, in toto. Let's start this. So 2020, I think 2020 has been challenging for every single person. So whether you've had a really good successful year, which I know a number of people have had, or you've had a very down sad year, which also a lot of people have had, or you just had a very normal year, like, you know, nothing good, nothing really bad happened, it was just a day kind of year, you've been impacted by 2020, especially for those of us who live abroad. Where, because I see my people back in Nigeria, I'm like, even we're chilling, like throwing parties here and there. It's like there's no corona in that country anymore. But right now in England, as of today, the 31st that I'm recording this video, in my city, we've just been put on a tier 4 lockdown. So we were on tier 3, now we're in tier 4. So it's like we've gone back to the original lockdown we had back in March. It's not funny. It is not funny. So a lot of people must have gone through that experience of being in lockdown, you know, just basically a lot of craziness. So before I start, it's always good to start from the beginning. In the beginning is where we're going to start from. So I'm going to fast forward all the way back to 2019. 2019 was a really good year for me, but it was a good year. Obviously I took in, and I was expecting my baby on the 14th of February 2020. So I was really excited for 2020. I was looking forward to 2020. Like, I'm going to be a mom in 2020. My dad was meant to turn 70 in 2020. I was going to go boom, bang, bang, bang on YouTube in 2020. I was just looking forward to this year, 2020. Like, I was so excited about 2020. And then the year came, and I remember one time I was watching the news and I heard something about this whole corona COVID thing on the news, about it going on in China. And you know, you just say to yourself, oh, it's in China, it's still very far, like they can handle their problem. You know, I heard the news, okay, people have been dying from this virus that people don't really know about, blah blah blah, but it wasn't like the top of the news. It wasn't like, you know, it has not gotten to the country that you live in. So it's like, it's the Chinese people's problem, let them deal with their problem. That's basically, because I remember watching that news and hearing about coronavirus. I remember I gave birth on the 29th of January, so my baby wasn't due until the 14th of February. That was his due date. But you know, babies come before or after, but this was actually an emergency C-section. If you have not seen that video yet, I'm going to leave it up here just for you to check out my emergency C-section. So baby came early and it was so beautiful. Oh my god, my baby is here. I'm now a mother. My life has changed. It was awesome. I was like, yes, 2020 is going to be that year for me. You know, I've already planned out things that I'm going to, you know, be when I'm on maternity leave. I'm going to like try to do videos, because obviously my mom was going to come over. Sorry, I've lost a lot of nails. So sorry because I'm saying this. I've lost a whole lot of nails. But yeah, I was just going to be like, you know what, 2020 is going to be that year. My mom's going to come. I'm going to, you know, record videos, YouTube. I'm going to be banging, boom, 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 boom. You know, it was just that plans to do this and do that, and that was just, you know, I was just like, yes, 2020 is that year. Little did I know that, you know, something else was going to happen to me and my own family. So my mom came and she was with me, and then she came 1st of Feb, and you know, everything was going fine. And then I think it was either ending of Feb or early March, my dad fell ill. Sorry. My dad fell ill. At that time, it was just like, Daddy is ill, and I just thought it was a normal, you know, he's ill, he will get over it. It's just like, you know, you just like a flu or something, he will get over it, and you know, that's what we thought over here. Obviously, we're not there with him, but he couldn't seem to shake this one off, and it got really bad. It got so bad, like every 2 seconds my mom's phone will be ringing. This medicine here, that medicine there, this 24/7. My mom, like, oh my god, it was just non-stop. I remember doing a video call. I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying to just say this as much as I can without crying. I don't want to cry. So I remember I did a video call. I remember I was holding Zion. I remember my mom was in the kitchen downstairs, and I saw my dad on the bed, and I was just like, wow, like, he looked so helpless. And I remember just saying, Daddy, get well soon. He's like, I will. That was the last thing I said to my dad. That was the last thing I said to him. So it was on the 11th of March. My sister called me, and she's crying. Okay, so before then, on the 11th of March, my mom's friend's brother was also ill. He passed on that morning. Mom called and told me, this person's brother has died. I was like, oh my god, you know, she was trying to console her. She shouldn't worry, you know. I was like, dang. So my sister called and she was crying. And I was like, are you okay? She was just crying. She said, okay, my nose just popped. So she was just crying. She just said to me, like, you know, she was like twisting that, let me just be praying, you know, that she's not going to, like, that is not getting any better. He's even getting worse. That she doesn't think he's going to make it through and everything. But she's like, don't tell mommy and everything. And then I noticed then at that point, the calls kind of stopped. So my sister then called to say, oh, they're giving him a new medication that he's not responding to the treatment, but you know, how long would it take? Because my mom is a medical personnel, so my mom was like, they shouldn't worry, that's how sometimes drugs happen when you take new medications, that sometimes you may not, the patient may not show immediate sign of like response to the treatment, but later on the person will pick up and things like that, so they shouldn't worry. So we're like, okay, my mom was like, they shouldn't worry, you know. And it was like, I see, okay, oh, he's getting better, like, okay, well, at least there's something that he can start giving to him and things like that. I remember I even went up, I remember I came up, I had my bath, and then while I was in the bath, I was just crying. I remember I was just crying. I was just praying, God, please don't let my dad die. Please, he's about to turn 70. Please let us. I said, God, I know he will be skinny, he will have a lot of white hair, but I just want to just see my dad alive. My dad loves white so much, wearing his white agbada and celebrating, going to go and do Thanksgiving in church, that he's overcome this sickness, and he's much better now. He's celebrating his 78th. I was just in that place of, God, please. Sometimes you just pray and just like let it out and you feel better, and that's how we felt. Then realized that the calls stopped coming in. So all these, oh, mommy, they want to give this, mommy, they want to do that, mommy, you know, it just ceased. But I didn't think of anything. I didn't think of anything. The call just ceased. All my siblings were just telling me that, don't let mommy pick up the call, don't let mommy take a call. But I still didn't I was just like, okay, because she was stressed. At this point, my mom was not eating. I'm like, I cannot just give birth to a child and then I'll be taking care of you. As I don't have strength, mommy, you have to eat. Like, I remember that day on the 11th, she only ate once. I remember only once she ate. A few days prior to that, I was thinking that, should I just tell my mom to go back home? But I felt bad because I almost came from a place that, if I say that, I was always coming from a place of, I didn't have faith that he was going to get better. So I remember that morning, she just, you know, sat me down and she was like, Tosin, she may need to go back earlier than expected, because she was meant to go back in April, but she went back in March. So I was like, oh, that's fine. That means I've been thinking about it. That's fine. So we then booked her a ticket. So he then told me, told me, Pastor is coming to come and see you guys. Oh. So it was later in the evening. Pastor then came, and then I realized so Pastor came, and then the phone rang, and it was my siblings, and they called, and they were like, Tosin, sit down. And I was like, immediately I said Tosin, sit down. I knew my dad was dead. I knew it. And they were like, Tosin, sit down. I was like, I'm sitting down, but I wasn't sitting down. I was like, I'm sitting down. And they're like, Daddy has died. And I was standing. I'm just remembering that day. And as they were saying it, I noticed that 2 of our friends had come in. My GP had also come in. Another friend had come in. So the house was crowded. The pastor was there. And my mom began to look around like, what's happening? Why are all these people coming in? But you wouldn't be suspicious at the same time, because I just gave birth. So it's like, they're coming to greet me and the baby, right? So it was just like, Daddy has died. And I just dropped my phone on the floor. And I obviously didn't need to say anything to my mom. And my mom is a very strong person. She's just like, why would I stress when God has my back? And that's just how I grew up. God has my back. What am I stressing over? There's nothing in this world that I want to stress over that God himself will not make way for me. So that was how my mom was on the floor, and she was just calling my dad's name. And calling my dad's name. And she was just saying, Felix, this is not the plan we had. When I was saying I will see you later, this is not what I said. And she was just, saying, when I left, this is not what I said. I said I will see you. I had never seen my mom that way before, ever. And I remember I just sat on the floor. I lay on her, and she was on the floor lying down. I was just like, Mommy, it's fine. Mommy, it's fine. But it wasn't fine, because I was like, dang, my dad is dead. My mom is a widow. Like, dang. Whoa. In that moment, I honestly didn't even remember that I just had a baby, to be honest. I was on the floor. We were just crying. So, my husband had already called friends, obviously, for emotional support. So, friends were there. So, Mom C was like, she wants to go upstairs. So, she came to our room and we were just crying. My friend came and she was just like, Tosin, your dad is dead. Tosin, your dad is gone. You don't have a father anymore. Oh. Yeah. She was like, oh, Tosin, you don't have a father anymore. Your dad is dead. Your dad is dead. We were just... It was the shock of a lifetime. Like, wow. Wow. And we're just there, and I just had to be strong for her. So in that moment, I just kind of, I wouldn't say disconnect, that's not the word I'm looking for. I had to put my own grief aside and be there for my mom, because at this point, we the children are all that she had. So I started to have a flashback and to think about my dad's behavior before he passed. And I would say, I think he knew he was going to go. My sister said at that time, while he was ill, he said he saw angels. That angels had come to take him in a bus. And that there was one on his left and there was one on his right. That angels had come to take him. Basically, my dad died on the 11th, not on the 12th as we thought. He died on the 11th of March, the day my mom's friend's brother died too. So as I was saying, looking back at my dad's behaviors, so after he said that, I remember one time when I was pregnant, this was like, I think it was like November last 2 years, so now we're in 2021, so I'm gonna say last 2 years, 2019. I was actually recording a video and he called me, but I remember I didn't pick up. I remember I was recording a video, he called me, and for some reason while I was editing that video, I actually left the part where he called me. For some reason, I don't know why I did it then, but I did leave the part when his call came in. So every time I watch that video and I get to that part, I know that was daddy calling me. So he called, and later I picked up the phone and he called to say he was sorry. He called to apologize. One time I was back home and something happened and he was like, oh, he didn't apologize to me. And I was like, daddy, no, like I forgot about it. He was like, no, that he's just sorry, he got to apologize. And I remember I just had this block of tear down my chest. I was like, daddy, it's fine. He was like, yeah, that he's sorry about his reaction to things. And I was like, wow, my dad has never apologized to me before. Like, African parents don't apologize to you, you apologize to them even when they're at fault. So I was like, okay, but that was good. That was very refreshing. Like, wow, okay. And then when I gave birth to, he would always call. Like, he would be begging, please let me see the baby with the baby's eyes open. And if you know babies sleep, their eyes are barely open. Babies sleep a lot. He kept saying, I want to see his eyes, I want to see his eyes. I don't know, he just kept, you know, and it was just like, but at that time it was just, if I wasn't getting upset, doesn't start to understand that babies, you know, babies don't always stay awake, they're always sleeping. But looking back at it, I think he knew that he was going to go. So I just gone from having a baby on the 29th of January, and on the 11th of March, this is like about 6-7 weeks, my dad had passed on. That is what emotion that nobody can tell you about. That is something nobody can sorry, this video is going to be long. I'm sorry, it's going to be long. That is something that nobody can tell you how to feel, because even up till now, I still don't know how to feel. Nobody can tell you how to grieve and be happy. That is a very confusing state to be in. You're happy that you just become a mother, you've given life, but at the same time, somebody has died. Life has been taken away from someone that you know, your father. Nobody can tell you how to do that. I can't. It is hard. I can't. And then a few months later, I had to deal with another personal issue. And I was like, can I just have a break? There's already a lockdown. There's this virus out there that we don't know where it came from. There is no cure to it. We're stuck in the house. I just had the baby. My dad just died. And then this wants to happen. I'm like, 2020. Can you just let me be? Can you just allow me to just be in all of this? And that just put me off. I was just like, who did I offend in this life? Tanimoshe. Like, who did I offend that all of this is happening? My baby is one big positive, but at the same time, who did I offend? And yeah, it was just really hard. And I was like, you know what, I have to speak to somebody, because this is how, you know, when they talk about mental health, I never really understood mental hey, I never really understood mental health until all of this happened, until 2020 happened. And when you hear of mental health, you think, oh, the person is running mad. It's kind of two. It's like an emotional thing, and then it becomes like a physical, mental thing itself, whereby, you know, yeah, the person seems to be losing things. But it's, I think for me it was more of an emotional place, you know, dealing with that issue mentally and having to cope with life. And I just found there were times where I just didn't even want to cook. I just wake up and I don't want to do anything. There were times where I would just sit in front of the TV and I'll just turn the TV off and I'll just be staring at the TV. To even press my phone, play games, I would just, Instagram was irritating me. I deleted myself on Facebook for a while. I was just there. I just didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to see anybody. I was just there. But life has to go on, and sometimes you just have to force yourself to smile. You smile, and people don't really know the depths of the hurts and the pain that you're going through, because they see that you're smiling, so they think, oh, she's fine. But people will never understand it until they find themselves in those shoes. That's just the truth. So I decided to see a therapist. This is something that, you know, a lot of people don't do, especially Black people. Oh, you're gonna say therapist, but sometimes when you need to talk to people, when you need to talk to somebody, do that, because this is somebody coming from a different eye, looking at things differently. She doesn't know me, I don't know her. I'm just telling her how I'm feeling, and she just advising me medically or what will I call it, book-wise, you know, in a therapeutical way, that way. You know, so it was really good for me to have, you know, when I spoke with her, the length of times we had our session was really good. I used to look forward to having those days and just talk about my feelings and how, you know, because I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone. I thought in that moment that I didn't have that support system, to be honest, to speak to anyone. So we've moved on, and then EndSARS starts. EndSARS in Nigeria started. And when I first saw this EndSARS initially, I was just like, you know what, I have been through a lot of emotional turmoil. I don't see Nigerian government, just leave them as they are like that. So I don't want to hear about them. But it was until the 20th of October, and when I saw it, oh my God, there was no way I could not connect to it. But in all of this, I was able to say 2021 is going to be my year. I was able to give myself a theme for 2021. Within my crisis in 2020, within seeing how things and people responded to me, I was able to do things that I wanted to do. And I started, myself and my husband and my family, we started to do things for us and not minding what people will say, because people will still talk. If you do something well, they will talk. If you don't do something well, they will talk. All you need to do is do what makes you happy. Because I remember I kept saying to myself, I'm not going to be 10 different versions of myself for 10 different people. I'm going to be one of me, and whoever wants to be my friend, wants to be in my corner, would automatically be attracted to me. And that was when I started to think about what I want 2021 to be like for me. Whether there is coronavirus or not, 2021 is going to be a year where I would do things intentionally, where I would do things that I want to do that make me happy, where I would think about ideas, plan those ideas, and execute those ideas. And it made me have a theme. So you know the way as Christians you go to church and like the theme for the year is this. I also have a theme for the year 2021, and it's 2021, my intentional year. I am going to be intentional about everything that I do. I am going to be intentional about myself, my relationship with God, my relationship with my husband, my relationship with my son, my family life, my business life, my work life, my social life. I am going to be intentional about it. This is not a year of saying, oh, I'm going to cut people off. I'm going to cut people off, because guess what? You too, you're on somebody's cut list. So it's not that year for me. It's a year of being intentional and being myself and growing into that full potential that I can be. And guess what? When you're being intentional, when you do that, automatically the people that are not meant to be in your life will start dropping by one after the other. That's what will happen. And the people that are meant to be in your life, you will start finding them. And if they're already around you, you would see them even more. That's just how life is. So my theme for 2021 is 2021, my intentional year, taking bold steps. So as I said, I'm setting goals for myself that I'm going to achieve by the grace of God. I already have this idea in my head about my business, and I was speaking to my husband. My husband is like, well, you should do it. It is a bold move, but I'm going to do it, and you guys will see that move when I do it. I'm going to do it. But with the negative that happened in 2020, it really made me to sit down and think about my life, my purpose, what I want to do, who I want around me. I don't want negative energy around me, and I'm going to try not to give negative energy as well. Another thing again I want to say in the year 2021 is that let's be kind to people. Be kind. You don't know what somebody is going through. Human beings can be very, very harsh. We can be very, very selfish. We can make things that are not about us. Somebody is going through something and the person doesn't react the way you want them to react, then you make it about you. But you forget that the person is going through something that is making them react that way. Rather than you be there for them, you start to make it about you. Nah, let's show love. Let's be kind. Let's be gentle to people. So yeah, I'm beginning to blab too much, but that's just basically 2020 in review. I had the baby. I lost my dad. There was COVID, and there is still COVID. Now my city is on a restriction. It's just crazy. NSAS happened in my country. Things that happen in other African countries that we don't even know about, that their governments are even just cutting them off the internet. They don't even post them. A lot of things have just happened. People are going through a lot. 2020 has just been that year, but 2021 by God's grace will be better for us. We don't know what it has in store. We can only have faith. We can only pray that things will go better from here moving forward. So I'll see you guys when my next video comes up. Happy New Year once again to you guys. Please, whatever you do, I don't know why I keep saying this, but just be intentional about everything you do. Be intentional. I can't wait to hear what 2021 has in store for you guys, for myself. I can't wait to share it. But let's just show love. Let's be happy. And I pray that God will continue to bless and keep you guys. I pray that God will keep your families, all your heart desires. God will help you to fulfill every single one of them in the name of Jesus. And yes, have a blessed year. That's just all I can say. I'm talking too much. My mouth is already dry. Let me go and drink water and play with my baby. But I'll see you guys in 2021. I've already seen you guys in 2021. Make this year count. Yes, make 2021 count. I'll see you guys in my next video. God loves you, so do I.